Hi everybody. Um, I just thought it was time now to say something, to have a conversation with myself. And it's so much. This journey has been over the top. And so much has happened. And now we have arrived to the unexpected for a lot of people. And for most of us, I would say, you know. And now it's time to talk about it. The silence is wonderful. I've been moving throughout the community and mingling with certain ones, and the silence is wonderful. I love it because when something is spinning in the wrong direction, or I'm going to say in a direction that needs to be reversed, because in order for us to fix our life, we have to stay where we are until it ends. And when it ends, we can begin a new cycle. So what I would like to say about that is that the silence is a sign that there has been an ending of a cycle. So I'm okay with the silence because now we're allowed to think again. On this journey, there's been a lot of things that has happened to us that we may have buried. And today I wanted to dig some of those things back up as a reminder because it's necessary. Only because it's necessary. It's necessary to know how we landed here. Because a lot of us is probably asking and looking to the heavens and saying, why? Why and what now? So the why. I think I want to start with the why. It's so much. I want to take us on a little trip with the why. Why? And then there are some people that are saying, well, I expected it. Because now he's a Benami is not a person. Benami is a doctrine. Benami is Irmoto. He lives on in me, and I'm going to carry his name on. I'm going to carry him on, and I'm going to live and be obedient to his instructions, and I'm going to flourish that way. And I can tell you today, if you're thinking like that, that is pride. And I'm going to get to why that is pride. That is not you talking. That's your ego and your pride. Because you don't have the right to lose. And when I say the right to lose, is that he put you on a path that you was to stay on because you were not to forsake him. It has nothing to do with you. You didn't have the right to change anything. You didn't have the right to think. You didn't have the right to do nothing but follow instructions and stay on the path. They say stay in alignment with your purpose. He had many things that he told us to stay in alignment with. So now, the shock, and it is a shock. It's a shock. It's a shock because we believe that God, he was the closest thing to God. A lot of us believe that Ben Ami was the closest thing to God. And that whatever he said was straight directly from God. And he said that, and I'm speaking from what I know. He said that I told death to get behind me. And I told death, these was his words, that I'm not dying. And I'm not talking about the spiritual, because I talk with different ones that know what he said. He said, I'm talking about in the flesh. We're not dying. But he's not here. And he died. So what is that? Why did that happen? I've spoken with some people, and I found out that some people is angry with him for dying on them. It's like, oh my God, he did what? No, he didn't. Because how do you get to die? How do you get to tell me not to think? How do you get to tell me to wait and that you have the key to everlasting life and then you die? So now they're thinking, oh, okay, so he didn't really die. But he's not here. And I've been told that, he left instructions. Now, everybody that served him know that you didn't get your instructions from your thoughts. You came to him and he told you exactly what to do. He laid down his rules, and he said, you do this, you choose life, you do that, you choose death. So for him to die has to be unexpected. Now I'm speaking for a lot of people. You have to accept the truth about what happened. He died. And it does not feel good for a lot of people. Ben was not supposed to die. He was supposed to lead us, and we were supposed to follow him into eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. Neither can you imagine what God has in store for those who wait on the Lord. Now I know the priest can relate to this, because I was just at Ben Kyle Hagibo's ceremony, and the priest read, wait, and it felt like Ben Kyle did not wait. He stepped out on his own, and he died. So Ben used this to say, wait. And as the priest was reading, he ended his scripture. He found some scripture in the Bible. I wished I had got the exact scripture so I could tell you all. But he said that at the end of the scripture, it was, if you cross me, if you try to get ahead of me, if you try to go out on your own, you're going to die. And Ben Kai Gibor died, and so he was trying to say that Ben Kai Gibor did that, and I'm trying to show y'all don't do that, because see what happened to him. He died, and now, wait. He said, wait. The priest stood there and read, and when he got to the end, he said, wait, 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 wait on the Lord. And he was the Lord. So, now he's gone. He died. So, did he lie to us? Are we supposed to, what are we supposed to do now? I'm just trying to put myself in a person's shoes that's now trying to figure this out. And right now it's like, oh my God. So I know what he told me to do when he was here. He told me not to think. He told me to get instructions. And I spoke with some of the ministers, and I spoke with different people, and they told me that he left instructions, and that we're going to be getting these instructions. And I'm like, okay, now, Regan, now let's not talk crazy. You went down to his house, you sat outside his door, and you got the instructions for the day. And I was taught by my father, whenever I would brand you off, because I was always going into my own thing, and he said, who asked you to think? He said, now, y'all got to learn how to follow instructions. We didn't ask you to think. Just do what you're told. Now, I never agreed with that. I had a problem with it from a child. I had a problem with that. That just didn't sound right, because I said, why would I have this brain that torments me every day? And it makes me want to think. It makes me want to figure things out. That's how my brain works. It's like, figure this out. Give me some answers here. This doesn't feel good. Why doesn't it feel good? So my brain was always considered a problem. I was a problem in the kingdom of Yah, because I was always thinking. Even though I was there following and marching and singing and doing what I did not want to do, because I wanted to be a part of the whole. Simple, wanted to be a part of the whole. And got in a lot of trouble for it. And I didn't really care, because it just felt so good to think, because my brain would never allow me not to think. Now, I'm sure some people are saying, well, what is she talking about? Because I was always thinking, and I was always this, and I was always that. No, you were not. You sat there and you did what you was told. I was there. Don't play. Don't do that. Stop acting like we wanted to wear kulaks to the Americans. I was at the same meeting you was at when they said, don't wear these kulaks to the Americans, because we don't wear pants in our community, and we would all talk about it. Then we would allow us to talk about, can we wear pants, can we not wear pants, can we wear kulaks, can we not wear kulaks? And then we would do our little talking, and then it would go into rock, and we would wait on the instructions, and the instructions would come out. He said, we're not going to wear pants. Or however it went down. We didn't get to just proceed on what our conversation was. And it wasn't about a vote. It was about the conclusion, goes into the rock, comes back out, puts his stamp on, not going to wear the hair, not going to wear the pants. We're not going to use this. We're not going to wear the yarn. We're going to wear the the wires. We're not going to wear the wires. We're going to wear this, you know. So we waited on that word, those instructions. Now he's not here and you saying he left instructions. Come on now, let's not talk crazy. Because your brain now, if you just decide I'm not doing anything, I'm just going to do what he left us with. What did he leave you with? He left you in a waiting mode. He left you waiting for him to deliver you. Let's go back over the history. The most of us ended up in this situation because we believed that if we be obedient to his instructions, which was to wait on the Lord, to allow him to lead us, that we did not know what he knew, that he knew better than all of us, and he was a messenger from God, speaking for God, and he would lead us to eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, neither can you imagine what's in store for those who wait on the Lord, Ben Ami. And today, he was buried 3 weeks ago. Now, I just wanted to put that out there to remind you how you ended up not buying a home, how you ended up not sending your child to college, how you ended up accepting a sister wife that you didn't like, how you ended up living with someone you didn't want to live with, how you ended up staying in a marriage where you wasn't happy, how you ended up accepting that this is not pain that I'm feeling, this is endurance, this is long suffering for a better day, how you ended up broke, how you ended up without a plan, because he had the plan and your job was to just sit and follow and wait. Now they're saying that the Rosh Hashanah, who checked in every day, because there were times we ran to the Rosh Hashanah and we said, you know, I'm having a problem with this and that and the other, and they say I'll get back with you because I have to run it back and forth. Most of them were selected because they knew how to follow instructions and they knew how not to think, they knew how to go to him, get the answers, and then bring it out. Now they're saying that they're moving up a notch, they're going to figure it out on their own, and they're going to think how he would have thought, and they're going to give you the answer, and you can choose anyone from the Rosh Hashanah, which is the Nissikim and the Sarim. And these men are going to be forced to think again, and I just think that's just so nice. That now if I come to them, or you come to them, or someone goes to them and say, listen here, I need to make a decision on some things, and things are not going right in my life. They're going to have, now I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. Part of their brain is going to want to think, you know, she's telling me this, what would I say? That's the first thing their brain is going to do, what would I say? And they're going to remember it was times that he didn't really hear what they said, when he came up with an answer. And they don't know why he came with that answer, because that wouldn't have been the answer that they would have gave. But that's the answer that he gave. And some of them are going to give you those answers that's not going to fit and make sense, because it's not going to be what they would have did. They're going to think how he thought them to think. My child has decided thus and thus and thus and does, and I don't agree, but he want to do thus and thus and does, and what should I do? And they're going to think, well, is he paying tithes in the nation? Is he wearing his fringes and cords of blue? Because this is what they basically know. They know that you being obedient to the plan is to put the kingdom first. Putting the kingdom first is not about you. It was about them. Because if you put yourself first, you would have said, well, I need a job, or I need an education, or I need a home, or I need a proper place for my children. I need to feel good today. And feeling good was, he gave me an answer. I got in, I got my information, and he said this. And so, you know, we learn how to say what I was said, and then stuff our desires down and go with, but I checked in the rock and I got the answer. So that's what I'm going to go with, and I'm going to make myself happy anyway. I'm going to ignore that, and I'm going to try to stuff that down somewhere and just be obedient, you know. So that's going to be kind of difficult now that he's not here. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because now you're going to have to think. And silence is a good thing. Silence is that you're thinking now. And those of you that are running around saying, he lives in me, he's in the clothes. You know, you just talking because you don't even like the clothes. And those clothes was coming from women that had to get up and go get the material, and then they had to sew them, and then they had to say, you're gonna have to pay me, and then they had to say you didn't do my. Now, it's like, wow, I don't have to do that no more because, he's not here. But I want to live in his name, and I want to continue on what he said. And so whenever I get in trouble, I can say, it's not my fault because I wore the clothes. I still don't have to own nothing in my life. I still don't have to take responsibility that it's my job to fix everything that I consider is not working and is broken and it's not, giving me what I'm looking for because I'm waiting. Now, this is just a conversation I'm having with the saints because I know that this conversation needs to be held. And I know that even though we've been free from that level of fear, because we was not scared of sorry Saska. We wasn't scared of sorry Leo. We wasn't scared of Nasik Emmanuel, Nasik Aram. We was scared of Ben Ami. We were scared that he would tell everybody, don't speak to Seporah. And then I would have to be saying, wow, I can't go to the party. I can't go and have the holiday with my family. I can't go, and I'm taking us back so that we can understand how we got here. Because, we need to go back, and I decided to let's take us back because some people has buried everything. When you're burying stuff, you didn't probably forget how you got here today. Because I remember my father, he said he just wanted a house, that it was his, and he just was going to wait because his dream was to have his own home and a beautiful home because he's a carpenter. He wanted to build his home. He wanted to invite all his grands over, wanted this beautiful home, and he didn't get a chance to do that in America because he found out that he can join this community, and his brother convinced him that they would build these homes and they would just get the same thing, so he's been in waiting mode for this home. And he recently fractured his hip. A couple of days before Ben-Ami died, he fractured his hip. My belief is that he received the news that it didn't look good for Ben-Ami. And when we looked up the hip is what moves us forward in life. You can look up hip, you can Google hip. And it said, what the hip is for us is what moves us forward. And it said, when you have hip problems, it's because you don't have a reason to move forward. Not having a reason to live, not having a reason to move forward. Now, why would he end up not having a reason to move forward? I'm alive. His grandbabies are alive. He's still alive. He has wives. He has people who love him. Because he was really only living for Ben-Ami. He wasn't living for me anymore. He wasn't living for his grandkids. Because we had stepped off the path that he said that would lead us to life. And he wanted to be there to receive the blessing from Ben-Ami, not from his grandkids, and not from me, not from his wives, not even from himself. He was to follow the instructions and receive the blessing from Ben-Ami. So when he fractured his hip, he lost hope, was hip problems, nothing to live for. I was insulted. I was looking at him like, wow, you really did it. You became Esau. Was it Esau? No, it wasn't Esau. It was Jacob. Who was this that was going to sacrifice their son for God? What's his name? Remind me, Molly. I got a little audience here.
Abraham.
Abraham? That wasn't Abraham. It was Abraham that was going to...
Abraham.
Okay, Abraham was going to sacrifice his son. I didn't really kind of threw the Bible stories away. I used to know everything by heart, and because I was a Bible scholar when I was a little girl. They made us study the Bible, and he was going to sacrifice his son. And then God said, when God saw that he would sacrifice his son, then he said, that means you really love me, because you were going to get your son for me. So now, my Abba was ready we laid all our heads on the chopping block. I don't see Seporah. I don't see my grandkids. They not with God no more. And he was proud to take the stand that I'm with you. And I'm mad. I'm pissed off about that, But I love my father, and I realized that he believed in the Bible. That's why I don't do the Bible today. I don't like the Bible because the Bible taught you that God will test you and he will ask you to do something that you don't want to do. And if you do it, then he'll grant you the permission not to do it. But you first got to say, I'm willing to lose everything for you, God. That belief system is one that will cripple you and will stunt your growth. Okay? And you don't have to believe me. Just look around you. That is one of the belief systems that the Bible taught a lot of people. That made a lot of parents say, you can have my son, Satan. I'm staying with God. It made a lot of people say, then that little heart was wanting to hear from their son. That little heart was still happy to see their daughters and their sons when they came back. But that little stony heart, that heart got to turn into stone, and that heart turned into, I see you, but you don't rock my world no more because I'm with God. And you're not with God, but I'm with God. And God has been to me. God is not the one that lives in you, that talks to you, that make you love your son regardless, make you not judge your son, but be there for your son, to make you help your son, to make you have a relationship with your son and your daughter. That's the God that I believe in today. The God that lives in me, that makes me have that attachment. It makes me want to see my son achieve his goals in life. That's the God that lives in me. That's why I told my parents, we don't have the same God anymore, because the God that I serve allows me to be angry, allows me to be mad. Angry and mad is the same thing, but no. To allow me to be happy, to allow me to be sad, to allow me to be pissed off. My thing is getting the job done. There's a time to declare war. There's a time to be laughing and singing. There's a time to sit down and study. There's a time for everything. But the God that I serve is so much bigger than I can only be happy. When I'm sad, I can't be sad. I don't have permission. I have to say I'm happy. When I'm hurting, I have to say I'm not hurting. I'm okay. See, I used to serve that God. And a lot of people saw me on Sister Wife say, I don't have a problem with it. And my world was being shattered right before my eyes. I said, I don't have a problem with it because I wanted to serve God. But the day I can say, oh my God, it was not good. I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. It did not feel good because the universe governs me. It's already in line how I'm supposed to feel when things are out of alignment with the universe. When things are out of alignment with the universe, you will feel a certain kind of a way. That's why we all fight for balance in our lives all the time. We tilt a little bit to the side. We always trying to maintain balance because we tip over in life. Because that's what keeps us going forward. That's what's called evolution. When you tip a little to here, it makes you elevate here. And then you tip a little bit to here, it makes you elevate. Then we keep going forward in life, and it's called evolution. That's why what was old is no longer what is new. We embrace the new, and what's new today gonna get old. And it's gonna be, what we talking about today gonna get old. And we just gonna keep going. But those that want to stay and hold on to the past, hold on to what was, it's going to die. Because once it's still, it dies. You keep moving, it evolves, it grows. So that's the really basic, that's the basic science that we all need to never think we can control. Because when you force yourself to not change, you're going to die. That's what's happening with a lot of people that don't want to change today. And you're going to die whether you're righteous. Like I said, the righteous person, people die, the good people die, the bad people die, everybody dies. But when you make that transition, you don't want to be that, you sitting there on your deathbed and you said, I think I should have did more of this and I think I should have tried that. I didn't try anything. And now, what did I do it all for? I'm dying now, So try stuff, do stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if you live longer, the more you stay in motion of moving and changing and learning and laughing and trying things. Don't get all stiff. Life is all about accepting everything. Eat the bitter with the sweet. And now I'm going to let the saints know that we're in the season of bitter. Bitter is what destroys the toxins. anything that's alien, that shouldn't be, bitter will get rid of it. That's why when you take something that's, trying to kill something, and most of the times if it tastes bitter, then it'd be like, oh my God, how did I end up having to deal with bitter? Because you got to take this bitter, nasty stuff to kill the poisons in the body. And you'd be like, it's bitter. So this is the bitter season because we have to destroy the toxin. So being bitter right now is good. Bitter is embrace, I was wrong. Embrace, I'm ready to clean the house. Embrace, I had to sit in my living room and let my kids tell me, Iman, you wasn't there for us. That was bitter. But I did bitter. Now today we could sit in the living room together and laugh. And the son that was sitting there wanting to slap me, wanting to say, Iman, you wasn't there for me. And I'm sitting there saying, Bang, shut up. You always been a clown. And he over there using, why is he so mad? And why is he, and I ain't did nothing to him. And I heard him. I heard him when I didn't have time for him and I didn't put him first. I heard him and now I had to sit there and say I was wrong. I didn't know no better. I was a young mom. I was trying to do what I thought was right. But today I apologized. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't get to this new Seporah not ready to swallow what I did wrong. You got to swallow your pride. You must swallow your pride because the pride will kill you. A false sense of pride. Arrogance. Arrogance is fear of the unknown. Arrogance is pride. Arrogance is you're not going to humble me. You can be humbled. You can be wrong. You're entitled to make mistakes. A lot of things we learned on this journey was we wasn't allowed to make mistakes. And when we made a mistake, we were judged. And we felt judged by God. And everybody had to take part in this judgment because now we're not going to be with you anymore. Not going to talk to you. We're going to look down on you. So nobody wanted to be judged. So we was like, fighting one another and in a lot of pain. So being judged is something that never should have been because we're entitled to make mistakes. We're entitled to mess up. We're entitled to be mad. We're entitled to say that didn't work out. Sometimes I cry and I dry my eyes and I say, okay, let me try something else. So because we be hurt when we mess up. It's okay to be hurt now we messed up. Embrace it. Give yourself permission to be wrong and say, man, wow. If you try to hold on to what did not work, you will speed up your death. And everybody want to live as long as they can. Some of us do. So don't speed it up by resisting change. Embrace the change. Embrace the new. Walk into the new. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. I talked to someone and they said, well, I left America and I can't turn around. I'm not asking you to turn around. I'm asking you to keep going forward. Go forward. How do you go forward when you've been taught that you're nobody and you're not entitled to make mistakes? Because you might go forward and decide that you did something you didn't like. You're entitled to do something that you didn't like. Try something. What do you feel today? Check in with yourself. Be honest with who you are. Be honest with what you're feeling. Stop scaring one another. Stop scaring one another because the enemy is gone, it's true. But the saints are scared of one another. They look at each other and say, well, I don't want her to think that I'm stepping into dangerous grounds by getting my hair done or by polishing my nails or by leaving my husband that has tortured me, that's not willing to grow with me. I don't want to let my wife know that I've been a deadbeat husband, a deadbeat father, and I'm going to keep the lie going that I'm happy and I'm miserable too. Accept, that's the bitter. Eat the bitter. Say, wow. If you have to cry, you can cry in your room. You don't have to cry in front of everybody. But at least do not lie to yourself. You're disappointed now. You can't tell me you're not disappointed that Benami died. You're disappointed. And it's okay. But if you try to hide that you're disappointed, because I've been talking to a lot of you all, and some of you all are like, I'm good. I'm good. We doing this. Benjamin Kai B. You know, we could see through it. You're disappointed. Benjamin was not supposed to die. And I had one sister to say, I'm angry with him. What do you mean he died? And that was good. I said, applaud her. Because she's allowing herself to be honest with herself and say, no, don't tell me that. No, he didn't. No, he didn't go and die on me. Because I only suffered. Because he told me in my patience and in my suffering, I would be giving the gift that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. Neither can you imagine what God has in store for those who wait and suffer on the Lord. Now he's gone. So I'm telling you all, and this is not going to make sense to everybody, but it's some people that I need to give you permission to live again. Stop waiting. Get away from yourself. Get away from that self that wouldn't allow you to enjoy anything, that wouldn't allow you to think, that wouldn't allow you to say you're hurting when you're hurting. Don't lie to yourself. You know, don't lie to your sister. Your sister's there to help you. Your brother, your friend is there to help you. You know, two is better than one. You know, I love to be able to go to my girlfriend and say, girl, let me tell you what happened. You know, I was pissed off last night. Does. And after we talk about it, we feel better. You know, I love being able to have somewhere to go and say, you know, girl, my God, was I pissed off yesterday. You know, and then I come out and I say, you know, somebody's going to pay. Somebody's going to give me some answers. Somebody, and you know, I'm good at walking up to people and saying, no, come here. Tell me the truth. You know, and I kind of like lightened up on a lot of people because it's not good to snatch people out of their fear sometimes because it can hurt so bad that you can kill them. You know, I lightened up on a lot of people, but I come in love, and I'm coming in love today, and I'm giving you permission to feel and to think and to free yourself from yourself because the omnipotent, the creator of all life on earth, lies and dormant inside of you. You are that creator. You created this situation you're in. When you want to keep hollering the creator provided everything. It's here. It's yours to create with. You have everything here you need to explore, to create, to mess up, to try it again, to get it right, to celebrate the victories, to mourn the losses of everything, and to keep thriving in life and moving forward in life. So now it's bitter season. It's time for us to swallow the bitter pill, embrace our children, embrace one another. Go back to your wife who divorced you. Go back to your husband who divorced you. And if you can, try. If you can't, you know, I pray for you. You know, go back and say, wow. Because I don't hate you. I don't take no pleasure in pretending that I can't see your pain. You know, I can look, everyone sees your pain. I see your pain. I just spoke with my ex and I felt his anger. But I also felt his arrogance is that I'm okay. You're not crying for me. You're crying for you because I can cry. The God that I serve allows me to cry, to mess up, to lose. You don't win every battle. Everything ain't all up and up and up. Take the bitter with the sweet. Because, you know, the down zone pushes us higher. It's just a part of life to go down and to come up. To go down, to go up higher, to come down. You don't get up. Life is not like this. Up, up, up. No, there's a down and then we push up higher. So the down is all a part of life. If you're not experiencing the down as a part of life, then you really is not going up too high. So when you're going down, get in it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's go on and hurt. Let's cry. Let's be in pain. Let's say, oh my God. And then we wake up one day and then we say, okay, whew, I learned from that. Go higher. But don't be afraid to experience down, because what happens, you end up staying down. Because you putting it off. And so you stay down. You just stay down. You're in the, how do I end up this down here? I want to get out of the basement. I want to get back in the thriving of life. Because you got to go on and embrace the down. Because you had it down, but everybody see you down there. Come up out of there. Embrace that you're down there. And then you can come on up out of there. And that's what happens when you're stubborn about life. You're stubborn, and it makes you afraid to do anything. And then you walk around and you fake that you're happy, and you really, everybody can see that you're not happy. And when people come try to help you, what you do, you bite them. Oh, no, I'm happy. Oh, no, I'm not sick. And we can see that you're sick. You can't hardly walk, your teeth are all messed up. Your gums are bleeding, and your bones are deteriorating, and your hair is all thinned out, and everybody sees that. It happens to all of us, but it don't have to happen. We like racing toward death. Let's stop racing toward death and enjoy life. Because you cannot get around these things that I'm talking about today. And when you try to get around them, you only speed up the death. Because Ben-Ami was not supposed to die before me. In the way he was talking. Because we all was betting that he's better. He runs. We was just saying, oh, he runs and he walks and he eats better and he diets better and he's closest to God. So why did he die? You have to ask yourself. And I have heard different people's reasons. I'm going to say, one person said, well, he died because the people, God needed to speak to his people. God has had to say, well, they're not going to hear me, so let me remove Ben-Ami so that they can get back with themselves, because Ben-Ami is blocking them from living. But Ben-Ami is blocking them from thriving, So that's why God took him away. God took him away so y'all could stop the nonsense. So now what you going to do? What are you going to do now that he's not here? Because people love Ben-Ami. I was a Ben-Ami fan. I love this man. I walked to the mountains with him and watched him go to the top. I watched him come down. And I used to go to his house and knock on his door, and he would invite me in, and he would sit and read to me. He impressed me at 6 years old. He bought me a hot dog and gave me the change. And then I had enough money to go and open a store. I had a box full of candy, and I was selling to all my friends. I was in love with Ben-Ami. You're not talking to someone that wasn't in love with Ben-Ami. Ben-Ami had us all in love with him. And it was those that didn't like him, because we would look at them like, oh, she's so crazy. She's missing out. This man is magnificent. And I was one of them. I love Ben-Ami. And today I love Ben-Ami. But I saw him as a threat to the community. I saw him as enabling us. I saw him as a block as to why we could not achieve our goals. I saw him as a threat to my children, and a threat to me, and a threat to my father. And I accepted it, that this was all wrong. We was not supposed to worship a man. We were supposed to stay. You worship yourself, your wife, your kids. If you're going to worship anything, worship life. Worship the weather. Get involved with life. Don't worship a man. Worship. Well, I don't even like the word worship anymore, because it just makes people get all stuck on anything outside of themselves. I don't like that no more. So today, I think, okay, why did we all end up worshiping a man, and how did we end up thinking we were so small and they were so big, and and nothing I thought and wanted was important. Just to watch him became so exciting. It wasn't fair to him. It wasn't fair to him that he had to, pull a rabbit out this hat, and then he's stuck saying, wow, he was burdened down with all of us wanting him to be God. That's probably why he left. He didn't want to disappoint everybody, but he got up out of here. You know, he had boxed himself in his house where he couldn't even enjoy his kids. He couldn't enjoy his family. He couldn't enjoy his wives. He had to maintain that I'm not who I am. And then when I mean, come on. We killed the man. You know, now he's gone. I mean, he loved being God. I mean, he got caught up in this God game. He loved being God. I believe, my personal opinion is that when he died, that he was really like, God, why are you taking me? I mean, I've been working for you. Why are you taking me? Why are you taking me? Maybe while he's out there, you'll get that understanding. But maybe he won't. Maybe he said, man, I had too much fun, man. Playing God was, come on, look how many people I had. Look how many people I had loving me, and I was playing God, and I did a darn good job because they gave me all their money. They didn't even wear their hairstyles. They didn't do their nails. They didn't do nothing they wanted to do for them. Those sound like simple things, but these people say, I have a person that I know, and she wants to do her nails, and she talks about, ooh, I want to do my nails, but she sacrificed what she wanted to do for herself to make her happy. You know, they act like, well, nails, I mean, that's not important. But if it makes you happy, it's important to you. You know, yes, I'm not going to lie. It feels good to wear these skinnies. It feels good to have these heels on. You know, it feels good to have the hair done up, you know. And it feels good to someday look like a bum. I mean, it all feels good. Embrace all of it. But to say, no, I'm all white, I love the culture, I love this, you know, I love that, I love this. Who you lying to? Because I ain't gonna lie. I believed that it didn't really make a difference. You know, let's wear the culture. I mean, the culture is not hurting anyone. You know, so I wore the culture. You know, it wasn't until I got in Chicago and got so cold. And they would say, Seporah, I'm telling you, put them jeans on, you'll be warm. And I was like, no, I'm good. And it got so cold in Chicago, man. I put the jeans on and ain't been able to take them off. Because I felt better. I said, damn, I wasn't even wearing clothes. I got angry. I said, damn, we've been walking around here cold. I thought you had to be cold in the winter. You don't have to be cold in the winter. Put on some clothes. Put on some sweaters, some jeans, some warmer clothes, comfortable clothes. You don't have to be running around dragging no big old thick skirt with fringes dragging, holding it up, leggings and a slip on and all this stuff. And just put on a pair of pants and put on some boots and go out in the cold. You don't have to be walking around here doing that for God. God don't need you to wear a skirt. If you want to wear a skirt, then wear a skirt and say you love the skirt. But be honest to yourself. Do you really want to wear that skirt in the rain? Do you really want to wear that skirt in the winter when your legs are freezing and your slip is getting all twisted up between your legs and your fringes are dragging in the mud and you trying to hold on to your bag, your umbrella, and your dress? Are you that comfortable? Be honest with yourself. Because if you're not hurting nobody when you're doing that, somebody's going to look at you and say, wow, why don't you just put on a pair of boots and a pair of pants and a nice coat and stroll down the street in comfort? And then she can hold her umbrella, she can hold her bag. She's trying to hold her skirt. Her slip is twisting up, she can't walk. Her leggings is wet. She wet. She's scared. I mean, who you trying to prove a point to? And I mean, this is what we did now. I'm talking from experience. Don't lie to me. You can't lie to me because I did it. And I felt stupid. And I felt proud. And at the same time, I was walking like, I'm in culture. I don't wear that shit. Because we was told that was awesome shit. And we was being really dumb. Because when I put it on, oh my God. You know, it really was funny because I'm a stubborn person, you know. And I was just like, man, I ain't got to be like the world, you know, because he had us, the whole world was crazy. We were the only smart people, and we had to be different. And I felt good being different. But I was a slave to myself. I was a slave to ignorance, you know, and taking it off. And I'm the kind of person that when they had to force me out of it. And my friends got sick of me. I had a friend, she took me to her house. She had a closet that was about 6 or 7 meters long. And nothing in the closet was good enough for me. I just was saying, no. She got so sick of me, she said, oh my God. She said, well, let's go to the store. I'll buy you something. But got in the store, and I said, nah, nah. So I know what it's like to just be trying to be snatched out of that stubbornness. And finally, I found something, and she said, go put it on. I said, oh my God. And I put it on, and I liked myself. Now, I thought I already liked me. And I felt so like, wow. It had this smile. You know how that smile started coming and you be trying not to smile, but it just lights you up, and that good feeling, that rush of, I like the way this feels. I like the way this looks. The fear is still there. You don't want to step out in it because it's like, oh wow. It's just not comfortable because I'm not used to it, but I like it. And I liked it so much till I said, okay, I'm gonna, I took it off and put it in the bag and went home. And then she said, okay, I'm taking you out tonight. I said, I'm gonna stay in the car. I put it all on, and she said, we're gonna go out to the park. And nobody out there knew me. I'm in Chicago now, y'all. I'm telling this story. This is a real story. I'm in Chicago, and I didn't put these clothes on. I liked it so much in the store. And I just was grinning so hard, and I was trying not to grin, and I said, I'm going to go out with you, but I'm not going to get out the car. I was just excited to have them on, and I'm not in the house. I'm outside with these clothes on, and I'm in the car, and I'm feeling safe. And she said, I'm not getting ready to let you sit in the car. And I said, girl, what do you mean? I'm good. And she said, you're going to get out the car. I'm not around the Hebrews. I'm in Chicago and nobody know me. I'm with a girlfriend that left the communities trying to help me. Like to embrace me again, because I like the clothes. But I'm sitting in the car because I'm a prisoner to Seporah. And she made me get out that car. And I stood there in fear. But I liked the way I felt and I looked. And I felt like everybody knew that this girl is from Israel and she's not used to these clothes. And I felt ashamed in one way and I felt good in one way, and I was just so uncomfortable. But I had saw this lesson on fear and how it's no way through it. You have to get in it. You have to stand in the fear, and your heart beats and you be nervous, but it's all a part of letting go of the fear. You can't let go of fear if you don't embrace fear. You gotta get in what you are afraid of. Get into this bath, bathe me in where it's uncomfortable. Let me get into fear. So I stepped into fear and I was shaking, but there was a smile. And eventually you do it every day until you get a grip on it. And it feels better and better every day. And it's not going to go away in a day. It feels better and better and better. And then you keep challenging yourself to step into the fear that you put on yourself, because, and then your brother and your friends and your sisters. And then when you see they smile, you say, oh, she's accepting me in the new, because there's something about confidence. When you build your confidence, when people see you, you catch them admiring your confidence. It's like you cannot see confidence and then say, people are going to catch that little flash of, oh, so she liked it. Same person that would dare you to wear it will see your confidence and admire you and want to be like you. So you have to get ready to be very uncomfortable, saints. I'm talking and I might be redundant and I might be saying these things over and over and over because I'm trying to brainwash you into submission to yourself. Wash all of the old off and put in the new, And that's how he did it, But he taught me so much. He taught me, we would go to the meetings, we didn't agree with him, we didn't like what he was saying, but we sat there and we said, well, I don't agree with that. But we listened, and then before you knew it, we was the one running around the house saying, no. I said. So it doesn't matter if you don't agree. If you listen and you watch this tape, You're going to find yourself healing. You're going to find yourself doing better. You're going to find yourself following these instructions. You know, I learned that all we have to do is say it. You don't have to be sitting around saying, well, they're not going to hear me. Because people have, their ears are there, they listen, the heart is there, the heart is in search. You know, whether they say it or not, the heart is in search for answers. How do I move forward? You know, and these is how you move forward. You know, I'm giving you my experiences because a lot of people laugh at me and they say, oh, Seporah, you wasn't scared of nothing. I said, girl, I was so scared. But, you know, I asked God, give me the answer, show me the way. And it doesn't matter. Keep your ears and your eyes open. It could be a child, it could be a television, it could be a radio, it could be a song. The answers are everywhere. You will say, bing, there it is, bing, there it is, bing, there. The answers are all around you. And once you open up and you ask God, you say, give me the answers, give me the direction, you know, then He'll aid you as fast as it's amazing. But you have to be open for it. You can't be walking around like I'm a staunch down Hebrew and nothing and nobody is going to get in and I'm happy even when I'm sad, you know. And then that you won't see and hear nothing. You just be like walking around like this. Like, I don't want to see. That's why the Hebrews will tell you, don't talk to me. Get out. You know, I be talking to my father and then he say, I'm not going to talk about that. Because he know when I leave, that brain, you don't go off. It works, and next thing you know, it's hitting spots and it's waking up stuff in you, and you're thinking, and you don't really want to think. You want to believe in what you believe in, and you really don't want to be changed. And you know, you want to just leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. You know, and that's not even true. That's not even what you want. But as soon as someone started talking against Ben-Ami, then you think, I'm entering dangerous territory. I can't even allow this in my ears. That's why the first thing he does was say, put him out. Don't let him in your space. Don't talk to him. Don't let him in your house. And you know me, and I've been bogarting my way up in everybody's place, in everybody's house. And I've been saying, they not in charge of me no more, so I can do what I want to do. So I can come to your house. I can go to your parties. I can do whatever I want to do. If you don't see me there, it's because I don't want to be there. Because I gave myself permission to go wherever I want to go and be protected. And there, you know, I mean, I dare, you know, I double dare you to mess with me. You know, and because of that, go anywhere and do anything I want to do. And so can you. Without fear. You can do it. You can try things. It's not a sin. There is this thing called sin. And let me tell you what it is. Sin is, the only sin there is bringing harm to yourself. And you know why I call it a sin? Because I wanted to throw that word away. Because so many people dare, I don't want to sin. I don't want to sin before God. But I left the word. Because sin is when you commit a crime, do something wrong that hurts you and yours. That's sin. And we have hurt one another. So we've lived in sin. Yes, you righteous Hebrews are living in sin. You're living in sin because you hurt your children, you hurt yourself, you hurt your husband, you've hurt your community. And now come up out the sin. A lot of people want to leave you there. Nobody's afraid of you. Nobody's thinking, you know, you're some threat to the world. No, you're not. You're living in sin. And sin comes to an end quicker. Okay? When you're in sin, what happens? You get locked up. When you're in sin, what happens? You get judged, go to jail. When you're in sin, you die. So sin is that down, you're spiraling down, you know. So let's get up, let's go up, you know. The ones that's ready to live, you know, we're ready to live. And anybody rejecting the change and rejecting the new, you're going to be dying earlier than what you probably would have died if you would have just embraced life. Because, you know, life is always trying to take us up and enjoy it. And then when it's time to go out, we go out in peace and love and harmony. We go out and think we ain't mad at nobody. We just check out. And people be like, okay, they live their life, you know, they live it, they out. But when you living in sin, you know, you feel bad. It's almost like you go to the electric chair. You die before time. That's what living in sin is, you know. So I'm saying all these things today because this conversation is one that we're afraid to have. And I just said, since I'm not living in fear, I can have the conversation. And hopefully I can help. And I'm coming in love. I'm speaking to the whole family. You know, speaking to everyone. And if the shoe fit, wears, and if it doesn't, good. You know. But I just wanted to have this conversation today and let the people know that it's okay. It's all okay. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be hurt. Embrace all of it. Don't walk around here with your head and your nose in the air talking about you good and you okay and you ain't about to change. You know, and if you're doing that, you know, I'm already thinking, oh my God, be careful. You know what I'm saying? Embrace life. Eat the bitter. Go somewhere and tell yourself first, wow, God, I'm ready to live. I'm ready. Embrace. I'm sorry. Apologize to yourself. Beat yourself up. You beat yourself up. So with that, you know, I'm going to say enough for now. Enjoy the tape. Bye.